Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carry and Cut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, I sure do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also check out our Instagram at carryandcut and our Patreon at carryandcut also. All the proceeds from the Patreon are going to go directly back to the YouTube channel to hope to buy new equipment and new knives to hopefully make the quality and the content better for you guys. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Civivi button lock Elementum. But before we do that, I need to give a huge shout out to Jimmie Crowe. All these videos that you've seen in the last series have came directly from Jimmie Crowe himself for us to take a look at and disassemble and do some reviews and hopefully make some good quality content for you guys. So, like I said, let's get right on into it. This Civivi button lock Elementum. First thing I noticed, when I was carrying this knife, that it's kind of strange that the means of deployment that they did on this knife is only the button lock. So that's kind of I don't want to say a turn off, but it's definitely something strange. I've never encountered that on a knife. All of them before, all the other ones I've messed with, all the button locks at least had some kind of means of deployment, whether that be a thumb hole, a flipper tab, something, to deploy the blade. So it's definitely kind of strange. I'm going to go ahead and throw that right out there. My only gripe with this knife is the lack of means of deployment. I really do like a thumb stud, flipper tab, something other than just a button. But the action on this knife is crazy. It has, of course, ball bearings in the pivot, and just watch, as soon as you press that button, it just falls right down. So this is definitely going to be a very nice knife for someone that just likes to fidget around and mess with. And I still think this is going to be a very strong knife. Just looking at the actual lock itself, how this button lock works, it's kind of, I don't know if it's going to be hard for you guys to see, but it's kind of like there's a liner in there. It almost acts like a compression lock of some sort, like a reverse liner lock. I don't really know. Haven't taken it apart yet, but I almost don't even know if there's any springs in that button at all. It kind of looks like there's a part of the scale that sticks out. When you push that button down, it depresses it, and that's how it works. Is you cannot pull this blade open, no matter how hard you try when it's in the lock position. You have to release that liner for the blade to go ahead and deploy out. So definitely pretty cool. I can't wait to take this knife apart and see the inner workings of it and show you guys what's actually going on. So let's go ahead and get some measurements of this thing. We are looking at an overall length of almost 8 inches. So we're going to say that's about 7 7/8. So it's definitely a full-size knife. Blade length coming in at 3.5 inches, or just about there. It says 3.47, I think, on the website, but pretty nice. So a sharpened edge, almost right at 3 1/4. And Civivi does a very good job with their plunge grinds and sharpening choils. Check that out. You're going to be able to get a whole bunch of sharpening on this blade. And speaking of the blade, this is a nice hollow ground blade, so it stays super sharp down here. It's going to have a super awesome cutting geometry. And the Elementum in general, this has been a very successful knife for Civivi. For all of you guys that know, they've done a whole bunch of different variations, models that originally started as a liner lock, and then they went with a I think they went with a flipper after that one, or how there was always a flipper, but they went from the liner lock version to the button lock, and now I think they have the third iteration of it, and it has the button lock still, but it also has a flipper tab installed on it too. So this definitely just has a very sleek, elegant look to it. Nothing too crazy going on. Has olive micarta handles on it. Black coated blade, of course. Liners are going to be black also. This is a 14C28N on the blade steel, so I didn't mention that. Kind of all over the place today, guys. I'm sorry about that. Let's go ahead and get a weight on it. Let's go ahead and get Miss Carry and Cut's kitchen scale out here. Make sure we're zeroed out. Yep. All right. And 3.1 ounces. So that's definitely under the ounce per inch guideline, I guess you want to say, that some people like to go by. But this is definitely a pretty cool knife. I'm stoked to be able to see it and check it out. This is the first Elementum I've ever messed with. I really do want to get one of the standard configurations, not the strictly button lock one. Flipper tab would be nice. I don't know if they ever made them with thumb studs or not, but there really is a whole bunch of room there. But a flipper tab would be perfect. So let's go do some size comparisons here while we got it opened up. How about against the Benchmade 940 Osborne? We're pretty much right in the same ballpark with that one. Let's go pivot to pivot. It's pretty much right there. So anybody that knows what the 940 is about, you're going to have a pretty good time with this one. Let's go ahead and check out the Ontario Wrap Model 2. So it's definitely a pretty good bit bigger fair amount bigger than the Ontario Rat Model 2. How about the Spyderco Delica? So definitely be bigger than that one. And how about, let's go ahead and check out the CJRB Hectare. So it's still bigger than that one yet. So definitely a nice full-size knife. Feels great in the hand. Ergonomics are great. You can almost even choke up just a little bit in there, but you're going to be really close to that sharpened edge. So be careful if you do that. But I wear large size gloves, and this thing fits my hand just perfect. Another thing Civivi's been doing here recently is putting T8 screws everywhere, except for the pocket clip. The pocket clip is still going to be T6 screws, but we do have a nice folded over deep carry steel pocket clip, which I really do like. You can buy their pocket clips. They have titanium build ones that are pretty cheap and affordable. I think they're less than $20 on Amazon, and they come with a whole slew of screws and everything you can put on here. So they're pretty interchangeable. All their clips kind of work with all the different models, but T8 on the pivot, T8 on the body. So it's definitely nice to see. Love a T8 screw when I can get one. But for those who don't know, of course, the Civivi is the budget subsidiary to the Weed Knife Company, and their quality is second to none out of all the Chinese-made manufacturers. I know a lot of people don't like to talk crap about Chinese manufacturing and especially their knives, but it really is crazy that the price point they're able to put these things out to people. And talking about price point, this is $66.30, and that's still well under my budget category. I like to stay, around $85 to $75 on the budget end, and this definitely is well under that budget mark. So it's definitely going to be a great knife. I wouldn't really go out and say this is going to be a crazy hard to use work knife or anything like that, but it's going to be, it looks pretty classy. I imagine there's going to be a whole bunch of different scales you can get for it. I know there's probably even titanium scales and everything else like that, so definitely pretty cool. Don't quote me on the titanium scale thing. I'm not really 100% sure on that, but if you guys are just looking for a nice fidgety knife, I definitely do approve of this one. I think that it'd be a good one to add to the collection. But the only thing that I don't like about it, just this version in particular, is just the lack of deployment methods. I know some people might like that, but I just cannot understand why Civivi would make this just with button lock and nothing else. So definitely strange, and I think that's why they went ahead and did a whole other version of this one and made it with a flipper tab. So definitely cool to see, and hopefully we can get that one here in the near future and kind of do a little comparison and see what's the difference between that one and this one. So make sure you guys stay tuned. We're going to do a full disassembly and maintenance video on this one. So yeah, make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions, leave down in the comment section below. I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. And until next time, thanks.